In this video, I want to talk about something very personal to me, and that's when you don't fit in or you feel something is not really matching your personality. And a lot of my clients that I work with, I can see that they make career choices and they end up in situations where there is a big disconnect. They don't feel that they're valued because they have different opinions. They don't feel that they're respected because sometimes they voice their opinion only to be shut down time and time again. And this actually starts to affect your self-confidence. And at the end, you start to become in such a way that you think like, why should I tell them what I think? Why should I make an effort? And often it could be countless of reasons why people stay in a situation that actually isn't really helping them. It could be that they're insecure, that there is anything out there that could be as good as the position that they currently have or that they believe is as good. And that could be like that they paid really well, or that they have certain flexibility, or that the location is really good, and that they make this belief that there is nothing like that out there. And so they suck it up and they stay in that situation. But the longer they stay, more often, the more their confidence starts to slip away. And they end up really broken and feeling stuck. And when they arrive at that point, often it starts to affect their health. Not only their health, but also their external environment and the way they show up for their family and friends. So my point is, sometimes you make a decision because you believe it's the best decision possible, because you earn good money for your family, you have bills to pay, you think the flexibility you need to pick up your kids or whatever it is. You make a decision based on that. But then the outcome is that you end up really unhappy, depressed, and unmotivated. And it starts to even have a bigger impact on yourself and your environment than you ever realized. And it all comes from a decision that you made that was the best decision at that moment that you could make. So what I want you to do is think about it. Instead of just like saying, okay, yes, you're right, Caroline, enough is enough, I'm going to just move on, look for another job. Instead of doing that, what I want you to do is think about your values. And most people say like, hey, Caroline, your values, yes, I know right from wrong, you don't have to tell me that. But not a lot of people know exactly what their values mean to them and to others. For example, if you have integrity, everybody says they have a level of integrity, but it can be so different from one person to another. How many people would you say, my God, they don't have integrity? But like, if you would ask them, they would actually argue to the difference. So basically, what I want you to do is first define your values, then understand what they mean. And then I want you to even take it a step further and think about, how do you want the company, your manager, your colleagues to behave? What behavior do you expect based on those values? How do you want them to be represented? Because here's the thing, it is so important that if you want to find an organization where you feel fulfilled and you feel like, oh my God, I really I'm valued here and I really love this organization, I love the people that I work with, they need to have the same value system as you. And even though it's a tiny thing that people think like, oh, it's fluffy, it's the key to actually being in a role that fulfills you and challenges you. So the last part I want you to do is think about interview questions that you can ask to an interviewer that really gives you an idea about if those values match or not. And I'm not talking about your box standard interview questions, because to be honest, you will get a BS kind of answer. And this is like, tell me about your management style. Because everybody will say like, oh yeah, I'm collaborative and transparent in my communication and I just actually want results. But you're nothing with that. So you have to really be creative in how you're going to ask your interview questions to get information that enables you to make an informed decision. And that's the only thing you need to do to make sure there is alignment or disalignment. And yes, it's not a bulletproof approach, but it's all about risk minimalization and to make sure that you have the right information to make an informed decision. And that's it. That's going to give you a role that you feel fulfilled and that you feel that you're respected and valued for what you bring to the table. But most people, they just drift from job to job. They just go with the flow and they follow only their gut, but not knowing if their gut is really their gut feeling or if it's fear or if it's like comfort and just like taking a position that just like seems nice without asking the right question, without wanting to dig deeper. Because often they were so desperate to get out of that situation that they're in that they don't want to see certain sides. Do you ever felt like that? I know I have. So basically, like that is my action for you for this video. It's like to think about your values, to think about what they mean, to think about how you want them to be represented. So how you want your boss, the company, your colleagues actually to act. And I want you to think about interview questions that you might be able to ask them. Now, I hope this video inspired you. If it did, there are two things you can do. The first thing is download my free The Six-Figure Career Plan. It will give you an overview of all the pieces of the puzzle of a six-figure career. And if your career is a focus this year, and if you want to really step up and progress, then it's going to be invaluable. In it, I also share how you can craft an elevator pitch all for yourself, because it's so important to give that right message to CEOs, managers, headhunters, recruiters, whoever you talk to on a professional level. You need to have an elevator pitch. I also share with you the six-figure resume template, which is awesome and gets you the interviews, because basically at your level, you need to really step up your game. And it will tell you how to shift and raise your profile from being a manager to a leader. And this is not because some leaders, they might already have the title, but they still feel like they are being a manager. So download that. I will pop a link below. The second thing that you can do, if you even want to delve deeper, I will pop a link below to actually schedule a call with me. It's a free career breakthrough session. It's 30 minutes and it's going to be just a conversation between you and I. Me understanding where you're at, what you want to achieve, and we will think about the strategies that you need to put in place to get there, what the gaps are. And then at the end of it, if you choose like, yep, you're my person, I want to work with you, we can talk about that. And otherwise, it will be invaluable, the amount of information that you actually just get from those 30 minutes. It will be the best 30 minutes you spent on your career. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.